Going up, I next any lower would be 6 feet under in all
Mm,
actuality. So I don't want to say that I was forced because I could have easily kept up with the drugs, but I was so sad. I was so unhappy with myself. And I didn't see how what my value was. I didn't see my worth.
welcome to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
Yes.
Everyone in the world is an example for us to learn from.
Mhm.
And when we take the time to do our healing, understand, okay, I feel like something can grow here for me from what I'm witnessing. We can be curious and we can go and see, okay, what are their boundaries? What are they saying no to? What are they saying yes to? What does this look like? Because we are all learning. Um, like we've been sharing, like we haven't had the training for this. We've had to pick it up. We've had to recognize, oh, I
Mhm.
wasn't taught how to have boundaries, but now I'm going to learn because I see how it's benefiting other people. I see how it can benefit me. Oh, I wasn't taught how to, make a business schedule and set standards for people to not just be switching stuff up all over the place. I was taught how to be an employee and do whatever you need me to do. So
Mhm.
now it's time for me to relearn or unlearn something and then learn something new that's actually going to
Mhm.
benefit me. So I just really wanted to tap on that because I think it's important um, that we have that understanding that this is a collective experience, that we get to learn from each other and that we shouldn't judge ourselves based on what other people are doing or having or being. We can say, oh, that's something I also desire for my life, and I can
Mhm.
choose to emulate that. So,
Mhm.
mm. Jorge, is there anything that you would like to share before we step into our tips? I know that.
I actually have a question for you, brother Jorge, that I
Oh,
felt
sure.
like,
Question.
because you mentioned like how your journey of the different, like the drugs, the sex, the partying, and how you were able to really, in a sense, shift those. And it's still a journey, as we know. But I really wanted to ask you, because I feel like this will resonate with some people who may be in that space in their
Mhm.
life. What was that kind of for you in regards to like the choice of saying, okay, I'm ready to move through this? Because we say we are, but we convince ourselves that we're not. And like through that, because along that, yes, I'm sure some structure started to develop, some allowed the flow of like being led to the different spaces and communities that you shared that like that supported you and sharing your voice and sharing your story. So what was that like pivotal moment for you that you were like, you know what? I can't do this no more. Like I'm ready for change. And how did
Mhm.
that come about for you?
Well, like I said, I think pretty much almost 45 years of my life, I did what I wanted when I wanted, and I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom with amphetamines, and I ended up in the hospital for a whole week over Christmas. And I knew at that moment that there's even I had told myself I would never do some of the stuff that I was doing, and stay being in the hospital for a whole week over that holiday was actually one of my most peaceful times because I knew I couldn't go any lower. I knew that that was a time where I had to start going up. I next any lower would be 6 feet under in all
Mm,
actuality. So I don't want to say that I was forced because I could have easily kept up with the drugs, but I was so sad. I was so unhappy with myself, and I didn't see how what my value was. I didn't see my worth, and hitting rock bottom and using, and that only made me feel worse because I was nobody knew what I was doing. I was a functioning addict, first of all. So very selective people knew hitting rock bottom, and I got myself a life coach, believe it or not, somebody that recommended uh, Claudia Marquez, who's a life coach in Puerto Rico. I started speaking to her. And the second I was able to speak to her 100% about my use and the things that I was doing, and I wasn't judged. I think saying it out loud and she didn't judge me gave me strength, gave me strength. And she goes, you know what? You would be an excellent life coach. And I didn't see that in myself until somebody else saw my beauty and told me about my beauty.
Mm,
And I started seeing my beauty. I started seeing my worth. I started also living in my beauty, living in that, living in wanting to know more. I started following Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty did a lot for me in all actuality. And then I put all of a sudden, COVID happened. I had hit rock bottom. Then COVID happened that I decided to get up and leave New York. I was living in New York. I was flying out of New York and I was partying in New York. And I felt that what I needed to do was leave New York and sell everything. So
mm,
I sold everything. I was able to take a leave of absence for my job and I became a live-in nanny. I think being responsible for for children 9 and 10 years old and for a family, it gave me structure. It gave
mm,
me grounding and it gave me the sense of having a family and a responsibility outside of just being a flight attendant. And from there, I just ran with it. I got certified as a life coach, and then I just got involved in communities. I started following Raymel. After I became a life coach, Priscilla Barrios introduced me to Raymel, and she goes, "You need to come here," and I did. And that was the best decision I could ever done for my life, Raymel. So you got to
mm,
understand that your room got me through coaching, Jay Shetty certified, and to where I'm at today, and the people I've met in your rooms. Because from there I met Leah, and then from Leah's I met Dr. Tori, and from there it was just like a
mm,
beautiful, beautiful domino effect of beautiful, beautiful people with the same goal. The same goal is to spread awareness and to spread love and to spread that. Hey, guess what? There's a way out of this. If I can leave amphetamines, which is one of the hardest drugs to leave, believe me, I shouldn't be alive today to tell this story. So I am happy to be able to tell that to anybody who's listening that there is a way out,
Mhm.
and you just have to know that it will be harder before it gets better.
mm,
So we keep hurting ourselves over and over again because memories come up in within our healing journey. But in the long run, I know that whatever happened to me before 17 was not my fault. I
mm,
realized that this was generational, instilled in me, and no boundaries, no structure. So I
mm.
love where my structure is at today because look where I'm at today, speaking to two beautiful souls.
Mm,
Yes.
thank
Thank you for
you.
that. I knew I was meant to, I just listened to the calls and I just delivered what I'm meant to say. And I knew I was meant to ask you that because I love that journey you took us on. And I feel like that will really support a lot of people because, like you said, the functioning addict, the functioning person who knows that they are stuck and still functioning in the stuckness. So I just love that you were able to bring that awareness and spread that light
Mm,
on what is possible. What is possible? Because one thing led you to another, and that's really the flow. Whenever
Mhm.
we're in that structure, you're led to go here, you're led to do this, which leads you to this, and that's how we're in that co-creation
mhm,
versus force, making it happen, forcing it to work out, and if it's not meant, it won't be. And I'll just land it there.
mhm,
Mm, yes, I deeply appreciate you, Jorge, for allowing that coach to see the life in you and the light in you
mm,
and to take action on that because you could have just let it be a comment, a passing comment, but you decided to be open and receptive enough to really lean into it. So I'm deeply grateful, deeply
mm.
grateful. And
Thank you.
this has been a really profound conversation that I know
Mhm.
is serving many, many people. But yeah, as we are getting wrapped up here, what are three tips that you would like to share with our audience around um, allowing allowing structure to happen and take root in their life?
Uh, Number one is acceptance of your life and what happened in your life. Because if you don't accept what happened, you can't heal from it. So, acceptance is one of the things that we all have to work on. I believe that understanding what happened to you was not your fault, but
Mhm.
accepting what happened, not that it's okay, not saying it's okay, but accepting that it happened. That is very, very important in order for your healing journey to go forward. The second one would say definitely community where you could use your voice. Don't think that you have to speak up in a community all the time. Go in and listen.
Mhm.
Somebody always has something to share that might resonate with you. And if it doesn't, it might resonate with somebody you know. So whatever you hear, you could actually help somebody else. So finding your voice and speaking on that in community or anywhere, but hearing that voice out loud, hearing yourself speak
Mhm.
your pain, hear not just in your mind and not just in your heart, not just in your interior, but actually out loud. That
Mhm.
is so important to find your structure. And the third one, I would say, what, what can I say? I didn't write that down. I didn't write any of these. These are just coming out. I would say definitely self-acceptance. I said already, and then I'll just land it on that. Those are two of my most important ones.
Mhm.
Okay, for sure. We love it. Um, and I appreciate that you brought in the community of it because that's one of the ways I've helped get structure to having community accountability, having a place where I can be heard and hear myself and kind of get a sense of where are my boundaries? What am I
Mhm.
doing? Because um, when we are in unhealed environments, we often don't get that opportunity, which leads us to not having structure, not having boundaries. So,
May I add just a bonus one of
yes.
is one important thing that Brother Jorge shared, and we've all said on our own too, is a coach. Because after community, it gets you that like, okay, there's that next step, and the coach is the next step. Having a container that you're able
Hmm.
to be seen for the truth of who you are, and you're able to speak up and share what you've been holding, allows you to really be be willing and open for structure. So I feel like that
Hmm.
would be a last little piece because those other
Hmm.
two were fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, yes. And just to run those real quick for you all, the first tip that Jorge shared was to accept what happened to you so that you have clarity, so that you can have understanding. And the second tip was tap into community so you can use your voice so that you can get to know yourself, so that you can understand how you feel and what you sound like in a community space. And Raymel shared that after that, after you've had that clarity, after you've had this connection, get a coach. Get a
Yes.
coach. Get someone to
Yes.
support you with actually building this structure. Get somebody to actually hold you accountable while you're on this journey of
Hmm.
building this
Hmm.
new identity and this new understanding of yourself. So thank you both.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
y'all.
yes.
Yeah.
So, Brother
Coaches need
Jorge,
coaches.
absolutely,
If you don't have a coach,
absolutely.
are you even coaching?
Are
Just
you even
saying.
Yeah.
coaching? Yes. So, Brother Jorge, I know that you mentioned you are a coach and you have your motivational Mondays. So, how can the people get in touch with you again?
Yes, so I'm definitely on every platform pretty much. Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube. I'm trying to just get there, so it's something I'm working on. But you can find me with my full name, which is on Facebook, Jorge, Jorge, Ernesto Lozano. So that's Jorge Ernesto, Ernesto Lozano, Lozano. You can find me on Facebook, and right there I have a private group called Motivational Monday, Healing Through Adverse Childhood Experiences. And in this group, I hold this room once a month, and it's free. And joining this community allows you to listen in, and we go over the A.C.E.s study, which is 10 questions from the CDC, which touches about adverse childhood experiences. And it has been growing. I learned about myself, and it's growth for everybody who joins there because we all have that story we want to tell about our adverse childhood experiences. You could find me also on Instagram, which has all my handles on my link. Well, both of them do. So it's Jorge underscore Ernesto underscore Lozano. And that's on Instagram. And through there, you could find my Calendly if you want a one-on-one coaching session. And I'm in the works of doing a 6 month a small group of 5 people, 5 to 6 people, and it's LGBTQ gay community, and dealing with ACEs and ACEs in the gay community. So that's something that I want to navigate my personal group coaching. And I feel that a lot of the gay community does not know about ACEs and adverse childhood experiences. So it's something that if you go on my platform, you'll see that I'm all about ACEs and all adverse childhood experiences.
And
Mm,
you are such a gift, and we're so grateful for you. Thank you for joining us today. Thank
yes,
you
and
all
make
for
Thank
sure
you.
you
Thank
all
sharing.
you.
are going into Brother Jorge's social, book a session, book a call, book, get support. That coach piece, I didn't feel called to share it for no reason. And Brother Jorge is an amazing life coach. He's certified. He has plethora of years of experience. So if you want a safe space where you can be held, you can be heard, you can be seen, and most importantly, you can heal with love, make sure to check him out.
Yes, and
Thank you.
definitely let us know how this conversation impacted you. You can hit us on Instagram at Raymel Bentley at VZ Spaces. Hit us up, email us, get into the YouTube comments, rate it on Spotify. Let us know, how has this conversation impacted you? How is this serving you? Because this is a community conversation and you are a part of it.
Yes. All right, y'all. Well,
Lovely.
thank you so much, Brother Jorge, for your
Oh,
time, your light, and your energy. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. And as always, we will talk to you later. Bye.
bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.